What's up, everybody? This is Brandon from ComixKings. Welcome back to the kingdom, or welcome if this is your first time. And everybody, welcome to an all-new show we have here on ComixKings called Spotlight Saturday. So what Spotlight Saturday is all about is we're going to take a character and we're going to go over their origin story, their first appearance, where you can find them in comics, you know, and basically everything you need to know about them. We did a pilot episode on Brandon's Crisis on Infinite Rants where I talked about Punchline. I talked about her origin story, whether or not she's going to be important later down the road. So go check that out if you want to know more about Punchline, or you're not too familiar, or you're not reading the Tin and Run, or if you just want to see what I think about Punchline. Watch the video, it's a great episode. But today on Spotlight Saturday is our first official episode. We're going to be talking about Hulkling. Now, in wake of Marvel's summer events, Empyre, Hulkling is a very key character in it. Okay, so we're going to be talking about him, and I'll tell you guys everything you need to know about Hulkling, because he's not a character that many people are familiar with. Okay, so Hulkling, a.k.a. Teddy Adelman, first appeared in Young Avengers #1, created by Alan Heinberg and Jim Shang. Hulkling is a co-founder of the Young Avengers, which is why not a lot of people are familiar with Hulkling, is because he's basically like a Young Justice, so not a lot of the older readers are going to know who Hulkling is if they haven't checked that out, because this came out in 2005, I believe. Okay, so like I said, Hulkling is a key player in this Marvel event, Empyre, which is written by Al Ewing and Dan Slott. Okay, so the reason why is because, I'll let you know in a little bit, because some of you guys had the same reaction as the Thing in Empyre #1, when the Fantastic Four saw Hulkling as the Emperor, and the Thing was just like, hey, that's what's his name? You know, that's probably what you guys were thinking. If you're not too familiar with Hulkling, or you're not really, if you didn't read Marvel Incoming, or you're just like, what the hell is Hulkling doing here? Okay, so Hulkling is the son of a Kree and a Skrull, basically. So you can imagine the conflict in that, even the older readers who love the Kree and Skrull War. Okay, Hulkling is son of Captain Marvel, and he's the son of Princess Anneli, who is the princess of the Skrull Empire. Okay, so you can see that conflict, okay? So later on, conflict arose over which side had custody of Hulkling. So Hulkling agreed to spend 6 months with each race before deciding which to side with. But the Super Skrull left in his place, so Hulkling just went back to Earth. Okay, see, the Skrulls can be good sometimes. It's just we're not reminded about that very often in comics. This was a case where we're like, hey, they're actually good people sometimes. So on Earth, Hulkling and Wiccan, aka Billy Kaplan, they're a couple. They're actually engaged, and they're openly gay, which is one of my favorite parts about Marvel Comics. Is just the diversity in it, and just the joy that brings to the comic world. Okay, it's a beautiful relationship. Luciano Vecchio actually has a really cool print about it. There's a graphic coming right here, and it's awesome. Okay, so in Incoming #1, which nobody remembers because it happened so long ago. I believe it happened towards like the end of winter, in the middle of winter. It was after Marvel Comics 1000, that's all I know. But it was that like 96-page giant written by everybody about that murder mystery with the Eternity Mask. Okay, which you may remember if you're like hardcore into Empyre, but many people aren't because of coronavirus, and this is just so forced on us now. It's like, hey, we need to get this event out, so here's all of it at one time. So if you don't remember, this is where we see Hulkling leave Billy to go unite the Kree and the Skrulls because of their new Emperor, which is the start of Empyre. If Hulkling didn't go unite his people, many people would die. That's all we were told until the recent Lords of the Empire issue written by Chip Zdarsky. Okay, in this recent issue, we learn about Hulkling's origin story, how he survived, you know, the time Galactus came to visit the Skrulls, when his people wanted him dead, especially his mother's, like, the king, the Emperor of the Skrulls, basically wanted him dead because it's not his baby son, you know? It's Captain Marvel's. I still don't like that name change, but it is what it is. Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers, she's awesome, right? We should just kept Captain Marvel, not Marvel. But anyway, basically, his mother put him in a spaceship and went all Superman on his ass and sent him to Earth, because that's how an alien race survives. That's how their long lost hope survives. You just send him to Earth in a ship. Just go Superman on him. So a Kree and Skrull came up to Hulkling and Wiccan and Speedball. They're at his gay bar, and He's basically saying that there's like this menace moving through both Kree and Skrull spaces, killing many of both races. So Hulkling needs to go because both sides are bound to pledge loyalty to him. You know, and then the Skrull pull, or I think it was the Kree, is one of them. They pull this Princess Leia line, "Help me, Hulkling. You're our only hope." You know, so the two sides start fighting because they're like, one side's like, why should we pledge our loyalty to a kid? And the other side's, but he's like our only hope. So they start fighting. Hulkling grabs the sword, which makes everybody yield. And then Hulkling takes the throne and is forbidden to let his relationship with Wiccan affect his leadership and his empire, and any ability of him to rule it. Okay, but he still sees him in secret because it's our favorite couple, and you just cannot take that away from us. You cannot take that away from the LGBT community in comics. You cannot take that away from anybody, or else you're gonna have somebody to answer to. Okay, because it is the most beloved gay couple in comics right now. I will argue that any day. All right, now where you can find Hulkling, you can find him in Empyre if you're reading this event. If you're not reading it, I totally understand. Pick it up in trade because we're still in this pandemic, and you may not have time to read everything on your pull list because you're back to work. You're still trying to stay safe, and everything is just back to normal as normal can be right now. So I totally understand if you're not up to date on Hulkling. That's why I'm here. That's why we're here at ComixKings, to help you guys with that. You can find him in Young Avengers. The trade is, I believe it's like 12 issues. It's by Alan Heinberg, Jim Shang. It's a great read, excellent. And you can also see him in The Young Avengers by Kieran Gillen and McKelvin. So if you guys have read Wicked and the Divine, this is going to be up your alley because it's a great team. McKelvin's a great artist. Kieran Gillen's a great writer. And then other than that, you can find... We don't really see Hulkling. He like pops up here and there, you know, but we don't really see him in a sense, okay? But as far as his powers go, he's Kree, he's Skrull, so he has both his ability of flight, he's the ability to shapeshift, he's strength. He basically has everything the Kree and the Skrull both have. He just doesn't have the powers of Captain Marvel to, like, blast cosmic power out of his fists. But he can do everything else, which is really cool, you know? And his relationship with Billy is one of the most delicate things in the comic world because you can't really say anything against it, which I don't have anything against it. I love it. But people who do, because there are those people out there, they cannot... It's like you can't say anything against it without pissing people off, you know? It's one of those things, it's like you kind of have to tiptoe around how you use Hulkling, which is why I'm really worried about this event. Because him being a new emperor, automatically thrown into this war with another race, uniting two races that have been at each other's throats for years, years and years and years and years, generations of readers have known Kree and the Skrull hate each other. And now Hulkling's here saying, hey, we're saving the day, you know, it's over, I'm your new ruler, and let's fight these guys. You know, so you can kind of see how people might want to take advantage of him and make him just a puppet head, just to unite both tribes, you know? And no matter what happens, it's going to fall, everything's just going to fall on Hulkling, which is kind of a shame because he's a young character, you know? So they're aging him, so they have to age him very carefully. They can't just automatically make him 40 years old because he's not. And obviously, Wiccan isn't 40 years old. So, and other than that, it's hard as a ruler to watch people die. You know, we've seen it with Thor. You know, watching your own people die. It's like that Hulkling is going to see that. He's going to have to get used to it. He's going to have to get used to making those tough calls. Which, can he do it? No, because he's a very gentle person. You know, he's a very soft person. He's very gentle. He's, when he has to be tough, he's tough, but on the inside, he's gentle. He wants the best for everybody, right? Because he's a hero. That's what he's known to do, is find the best solution for everybody. You know, so when you have to when you have to decide whether to save this people or save this people, you know, it's gonna be hard, especially when it's deciding between who to side with, a Kree or a Skrull. So, I hope that Al Ewing and Dan Slott use this event carefully with Hulkling. Now, with the Empyre one-shot, you don't really need to read Empyre to understand what's going on. All you really need to know is basically Kree and the Skrull uniting. This is Hulkling. He can unite them both. There you go. Everything else is there. Everything else is just centered around Hulkling, and it's centered around his departure. This happened before Incoming, so the event of this issue takes place before that. But anyway, thank you guys so much for checking out this video. Let me know who you guys want to see as our next Spotlight Saturday. We are going to be having rotating hosts. So this week it's going to be me. Next week will probably be the kid or Matthew. And we're just going to circle around. So let us know if there are any characters you want us to spotlight. You know, will it be your favorite character or will it be a character that you want to find out? You know, and then stay tuned for more announcements. We have a cool announcement coming soon. The Alex Savick interview will be postponed. You know, something came up and we're working through that. But we will have that on our Creator Corner show. And we have a Jimmy Palmiotti coming soon. So I'll be getting that information out to you guys probably sometime soon if you're watching this now. But yeah, make sure you guys share this video, like, comment, and let me know your favorite thing about Hulkling. I would love to know in the comments below. Thank you guys so much. Have a good one.